Diane in Denmark here, and good morning. Happy 1st of November. It's a crossover week in Flylady this week, which means that they were moving from one month to the next, which means that for our zone work, zone detail cleaning, zone decluttering, we are working in two zones. Now, you saw me yesterday, I was working in zone 5, the living room, and today we've moved on to zone 1, which, as you can see here, is the hall, the porch, the entry to the house. If you come into your house from perhaps you have a garage, you can be working on that zone this week. Anyway, it fits in really nicely for me today because we had Halloween here yesterday, as you probably saw on Instagram. And in previous years, I would still have the Halloween decorations up about 3 weeks later because I was procrastinating on putting them away. Halloween is over. Dead and buried. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a quick tidy up in here, putting the stuff away, and I thought we'd have a wee chat while we do it. If you haven't been celebrating Halloween, maybe you just want to do something like folding laundry, or maybe doing something in the hall cupboard. Maybe you've got coats that need to be, summer coats that need to be put away, and bring out hats and gloves and scarves for winter. We've already done that, and actually I think my daughter wants her hat back. So anyway, let me turn the camera around, and I've got my box of where you probably saw last year I did a declutter of Halloween decorations. Anyway, so let's get started. Let's not hang around. Right, first of all, I'm just going to remove these lanterns which were on the stairs. I don't bother putting lights in these ones now, they're decorative as they are, but I put the fake candles behind them. And I just wanted to check in with you. Remember, in Denmark we love our hygge, making things cozy, or uhygge, which is the opposite of hygge, like we had last night for Halloween. And I use a lot of these LED ones because they are great if you've got kids around, animals, there's no particles coming off them, there's no smoke. And just to tell you about these ones, now these are ones from IKEA, and these have a fantastic advantage in that when you switch them on, they will switch themselves off after 6 hours and re-switch themselves on the next day at the same time. So they're fantastic if you want to put them, for example, we have outside lanterns in the winter, and instead of me going out when it's dark in the afternoon to light the candles and then remember to blow them out at the end of the day, they just light up themselves and switch off themselves. Or you can just kind of switch them on and off as you want, obviously. And of course, if you're going to kind of leave them on, for a week at a time like that, where it's switching on for 6 hours and switching off, you'll want to use rechargeable batteries. So I've got the IKEA rechargeable battery. So just a wee heads up about that. Just a nice cozy thing, or maybe you could use them, for example, in the morning when you get up in the morning. I like to do my morning routine by candlelight. If you switch them on like at 5:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock, whatever time you get up, they will come on at the same time the next day. So it's maybe a nice way to wake up. Anyway, just a wee tip about that. So I'm going to move these. Going to switch these off actually because I don't want them on for 6 hours at a time now. And these are going to go back into the living room. So let me turn around and we'll get the rest of the stuff back in the box. Alright, the next thing are the costumes. This is a vampire one that my son had used. He was at a high school party last weekend, and I borrowed it yesterday. And I've got this little thing that I always put in my hair. You've maybe saw it on my Flylady, on the Flylady doll when I post a picture of my shiny sink at night. So anyway, those can just go away in the box. That's all right. And he can go back in the box. And who needs a hand for cleaning up today? That can all go back in the box. My daughter's hat can go back in the whole cupboard. Along with the hats. Right, what's next? Oh, hold on, another couple of masks. There we are. These ones can go away too. Right. And here, oh, and so I'm just going to take a look outside. I didn't put much in the way of scary things outside. I'll tell you what we've got. You know, the only thing I had outside, oh, where is it gone? There. Yeah, I had a couple of spiders, fake spiders. And let me grab the one from the kitchen because I had that as well. Right, all the spiders have gone now. No more spiders. And a couple of little skulls, those can go, and another spider. We've got a bat. So anything that's kind of very obviously Halloween, I'm going to remove those. I don't think I had anything else in here. Nope. Because the rest are little pumpkins, so those can stay. I've just been using these IKEA bags to keep all the different decorations together so they don't get mixed up in the box. There we are. And then the next thing, this was just something I made. Oh, it was for a kid's costume years ago, and I simply sewed together some black crushed velour and some orange, and the kids used to use it as a cape, and now I can use it like a little tablecloth or or here in the hall just to make it look spooky. So that can go too. There we are. We're getting there. Okay, next thing is, somebody's not been doing her Flylady cleaning for a while. Look at all these cobwebs and all the spiders. Okay, that's coming down as well. Okay, and I leave the spiders in this because it's easy just to put it up next year. That can come off. There we are, and we'll just roll it all up. There we are, easiest way to get rid of. Oh, and I've got some cobwebs over here too. There we are. Yay! Look at all the cobwebs that I got rid of, and I didn't even need my Flylady duster. Right, okay, and those actually can go in the same bag as my decorations, all ready for next year. Right, and next we have my friend. Yeah, okay, that's enough okay, that's enough of headless bent, as we call them. Right. Okay, it's time for headless bent to say goodbye. So, good night, sleep tight, sweet dreams. Okay, and then, okay, so this can stay because that's just general decorations for the autumn. And these candles, these are more of the LED ones. These ones don't have a timer on them. I think I bought them from Amazon, but they're actually quite nice because they look more of a realistic flame, and because the flame moves, it kind of goes a bit like tick tick, so it actually sounds like we've got real candles. We often use them in the living room. Anyway, the switch is off just now. Right. Okay. That's just the lid of the box. And the last thing, I really like this kind of waistcoat sweater that I have, but I really need to keep it tied if I'm moving around doing stuff because it kind of moves all the time. But the good thing is when it's really, really cold and I go outside, it's like having an extra big scarf on me. So anyway, right, and the last thing, because there's nothing else in here, the last thing are the sweets. Now hold on. So we had sweets prepared, for people ringing the doorbell yesterday. In Denmark, the kids go around ringing doorbells. We don't have this thing where it's a parking lot or something. They go around in small groups, and usually there's mum or dad tagging along behind them. And guess how many times the doorbell rang yesterday? 0. Well, actually it rang once, but that was the neighbours because we had kind of arranged that in advance. But we live on quite a big road in the village, and there are not many kids' families who live on this street. So there are not many kids kind of come by unless, in previous years when it was my daughter, when she was younger, or my son, and of course their whole class would be coming around. And Vibeke, who lives a couple of streets away, she lives in an area where there's a lot of kids' families, and they all, do a lot of decorating for Halloween. And I think, Vibeke keeps a tally. And in some years, there's been like 160 kids have, turned up at the doorbell, and they often run out of sweets. Anyway, we didn't run out of sweets yesterday. So we had, and often we put in clementines, so it's not all unhealthy stuff. And I like to draw wee faces on them. Just type one here. Yeah, wee faces. There's a nice one. Right, so those can go back in the fruit bowl. And when we do sweets for Halloween, it's always something wrapped. And I don't like the thing where it's kind of unwrapped toffees or jelly babies or that kind of stuff. So it's all little packets. So those are just going to go back in the box. And we had some mints and stuff and chewing gum. And I don't know if you know this, but both of my kids had braces. Part of the taxes that we pay in Denmark, it goes so that kids have free dentistry. So all Danish kids get their teeth done from the school dentist. And one of the things that we learned very fast is that, kids who have got braces can't eat toffees and stuff, but sugar-free chewing gum. So there you go. If you didn't know that, they can eat sugar-free chewing gum and it doesn't stick to the braces. Right, so anyway, I'm going to empty all that out. And then this one can go back in the box. And that is neat. Hold on, those are going to go back into the fruit bowl. Take this with me. I'm not going to leave it lying in the hall. And this goes back in the sweetie cupboard. Oh, and I've got one last thing to tell you about yesterday. So let me get that. Yeah, that's my box ready to go downstairs and put away till next year. Remember I was doing a declutter yesterday of CDs in the living room, and when hubby came home yesterday, I said to him, what about these? And he put one on the side and he said, you know what, they can all go away. We can find them all on Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, so these are all going to the charity shop, woohoo! So I have a whole cupboard decluttered next door, and it was just stuff that we weren't using. So anyway, I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. Hope you managed to get some laundry done or cleared off your desk at work if you weren't doing Halloween decorations. And remember, I'm posting every day, Monday to Friday, with Flyladies cruising through the holiday missions. It's the videos that I did last year, but with a little update from me at the beginning. So if you haven't started them yet, dive in now, because it really makes getting ready for Christmas and the holidays so much more fun and less stress. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to get this put away, that put away, and I'm going to get on with my day. So anyway, live long and prosper. May the Danish be with you, and I'll see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.